Everyone's always told me I'm so funny, so I should do comedy. Own the fact that I'm hilarious. She's like, why haven't you already signed us up? And I'm really proud of myself that my entire set is clean. Does it have innuendos? It's because all of you have dirty minds. So I was just standing just outside and I could hear my sister and I was like, oh my gosh. So they charged me 7,000 dirham for this dog's bum. What is he gonna do? Poop gold now? My ex was like, how are you gonna handle the dogs without me? With ease, my man, with ease. Okay, so today is a very big day for me in a way of I have a lot of errands to run and adulting errands because I'm an adult. For that, to set up for this drive, got my sun hat. So I got this hat from Mimisa, and I realized that this car with the sunroof, okay, not good for skin health. So I got this big hat to help me because I was starting to get sunspots even before I hit 30. And now my sunglasses, okay, feeling a little bit chapped. Yes, I have this entire tub of Vaseline because Dr. Hasia, she made me realize that it's the answer to everything. Okay. Oh wait, where am I going? That's what I had to do on WhatsApp. Oops. Let's go see Karam from Level Interiors. 1 hour and 2 minutes. Am I gonna have enough battery today? I don't think so, but here we go. On the way, 1 hour, inshallah. Oh, I'll reach there with 45% battery. Well, okay. So my plan for today. I woke up really early even though my sleep schedule has been a bit off with my shifts. It was difficult but also not to wake up early despite being a nocturnal shift worker. So the last 2 nights I had comedy shows that I performed at, which I was really excited about. So the first one was intentional and planned. So I did that with Dubamedy, which is Dubai Plus Comedy. The people who run that show, Mina and Ali, I call them the mama and baba of comedy in Dubai. Like, they're the ones who taught me the structure in my sets, and I've really enjoyed learning from them. And the reason why I started the classes with them was because I was following Mel Robbins' breakup blueprint for my divorce. And one of the things recommended amongst the 30 days of no contact was that I should take up an activity or a hobby or do something to force myself to get out of the house and meet people. And I was like, why not work on my skill of public speaking? Everyone's always told me I'm so funny, so I should do comedy and just like own the fact that I'm hilarious. So that's exactly why I signed up. And when I was speaking to a friend about it, she was somebody who came on the show, Khalijat, at Khalijat, give her a follow, she's amazing. And she was laughing at me, or with me rather, when I was telling her about the audacity of my ex-husband. And she's like, Jouhayna, I feel really bad for laughing, but you're so funny in your like delivery. You should do a comedy class. And I was like, no, I don't know. And she had done one earlier and she sent me the details. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I spoke to my mom about it. If you've watched the podcast with my mother, she's hilarious. I know I get it from her. I was like, Ma, you know, I was like really sad with my divorce at the time. It's still very fresh. I was like, you know, Ma, like I'm thinking of doing a comedy class to force me to get out of the house and like laugh in such a time. And she turns to me and she goes, Jouhayna, you know, I would be very good at comedy. And I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, all my friends always tell me that I'm so funny and I'd be great at comedy. And I was like, cool. Then I asked her, I'm like, Ma, do you want to do the class with me? And she's like, oh, how much is it? And I was like, it'll be my treat if we do decide to do it together. And she's like, why haven't you already signed us up? So I sent them an email because it was really close to the starting date. And they said they had 2 slots available. And I just saw that as like, subhanAllah, what a great sign. So I signed us up. Best decision ever, best money spent in the first quarter of 2025. I met some amazing people, and I was speaking to one of the guys about it last night as well, who was in my class, who was also performing at the show, that we never would have met the people that we met unless we all showed up to this comedy class. And our group is just such a nice, beautiful group, and like we stay in touch and we have a group chat, and like mom is the mother of the chat, and they all like wished her happy Mother's Day when it came, and yeah, it was so nice. I loved it. I love it here. And you would get this reference if you watch my stand-up set. So I digress. The first night it was intentional for me to do a show. Also, I was thinking of calling the series Short Story Long. So my ex-husband always used to say, oh my God, can you just get to the point, long story long? Then when I stopped talking to him after the divorce, he's like, oh, I miss your stories. Of course you miss my stories. They're great stories. So anyways, I'm owning the fact that I'm a woman who goes on massive tangents and then kind of gets to the point. So this series is called Short Story Long. He would always complain about it, but then when I didn't speak to him and he was I was processing my feelings about like the audacity of this man, then he was like, why aren't you speaking to me? I miss you. Of course you miss me, and you miss my stories. They're entertaining and you got them for free. So now I just talk to the internet. So the first show that I did was my graduation showcase when I graduated from the thing. Then this was my first show ever where I'm like invited to do the stand-up, and it was a night that Dubamadi was holding for Ramadan. And I'm really proud of myself that my entire set is clean. Does it have innuendos? Yes. It's because all of you have dirty minds, okay? I didn't say anything. I kept it halal. So I was invited back because it was a Ramadan set. The first night was intentional. It was really good. I loved it. It was nice to see all the comedians again that I did the class with, and also a couple others that I met during the graduation showcase. And it's just been a really nice community to hang out with because everyone is so funny. Like, it's just a good time for a long time. Like, it's just nice. So I really enjoyed that night. It was an outdoor event and the background was the Burj Khalifa. So I made sure my outfit was like metallic like the Burj Khalifa because I referenced it in my set. So it was just nice. It was a vibe. But the following day, since the divorce, I've decided not to plan things in advance. The only thing that I have planned in advance is my friendship anniversary with my best friend Sarah. And we're going away and we planned a really nice staycation. We planned something real cute. So we're gonna go stay in the Address Beach Resort. We have a spa day planned. We're gonna go eat somewhere nice. And then we're gonna go to this Nonaverse where this Italian grandma makes us food. So excited. So Sarah was sick. She didn't come for the shows, but I was very overwhelmed the first night of the shows in a beautiful way. A, because I have a fear of public speaking and every time I do it, I get a little bit scared. And then B, so many people showed up for me that I didn't expect to show up for me that night. So I had one of the ladies who came on my show. Her name is Turkia. She is the co-founder and CEO of Ovasave, which is this business that is it's a femtech business that is focused on women's health and prolonging our fertility. And when she came on the show, I was still married and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna need this. Like I've got my husband, and when we're planning a family later, that's how we're gonna do it. But now I'm like, should I freeze my eggs? Probably. And then I just had this like whole deep dive onto, do I really want children, etc., etc. So it was just interesting. So anyway, she showed up for me at the show, which was so sweet of her. We had a nice catch up. She didn't know about the divorce, so I told her about it before doing my set because she was really shocked when she found out. Because I was in a good place with my ex when she came on the show and we spoke about it. She's like, where can I find a man like this? Now I'm telling her, don't even bother, because even the ones you think are good will cheat. And that's what happened to me. Okay, I'm speaking from my lived experience. We had a nice time, and then I looked over and I saw that this lady who I met at a wedding recently, she also came for my show, and she brought her daughter, her husband, and another friend, and I was like, that is so sweet. And then before the show, I went out for iftar with the boys, and it was so nice. Like, we just sat and we hung out and we caught up, and it was just a vibe. Like, alhamdulillah, I'm just so grateful to have the new formed friendships that I've built with everybody. And it's still very fresh and it's still very new, and I really don't know where it'll go, but I'm just feeling very grateful in this moment, and I'm enjoying it and not taking it for granted in this time. And then after the show, a couple of the girls who were doing poetry in between the sets came up to me and we had a chat, and I think I might make a new friend, so I'm excited. And yeah, I got a lot of compliments for my set. Everyone really loved it. Even my sister Mira, she showed up, which was really sweet of her. So alhamdulillah, I was feeling very grateful. Then the second night, I was talking about how I was spontaneous. So I've decided I'm gonna wake up and see what I wanna do with myself if I'm not working. So I woke up, I saw the comedy group chat, and I saw that one of the boys was performing, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna go support him. It was sibling day that day, which was yesterday, where I hang out with my sisters and we just have like a really nice wholesome day. And they're not used to me not planning things, so they were like calling me, Jouhayna, we need to plan. Are we going to eat at a tent? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do that? I'm like, no, I'm eating clean. I'm sticking to my functional medicine plan. Yani, we ended up in moon slice in the middle of the night, but who cares? But in that moment, I didn't want to deviate from my meal plan. So I told them, I said, look, why don't you girls just come over, we'll hang out. I want to go for this comedy show tonight. So I RSVP'd to go support my friend, and then I was like, why don't I perform as well? You know, he and I did the same class. why don't I perform as well? And I remember him telling me the last time I saw him, he's like, Jouhayna, why aren't you performing? Are you like waiting for Ramadan? So because I'm exempt from fasting and praying at the moment, I was like, you know what, I can't even pray qiyam, so let me go support him and let me see if I can perform as well. So I texted the producer of the show straight away. He was like, yes. And I know that they're looking for diversity in that crowd. So he agreed. I got my slot. I went on right after Ahmed. So it was really nice because he was in my class and we just went back to back. And then we watched the other comedians, and there's some of them that are really seasoned that have been doing this for like nearly a decade. So it was just so nice to be around them and also get their feedback on how I did. So alhamdulillah, like just feeling very grateful. And then my sisters, so I have one that's a little conservative, and I won't even mention her name because she'll be mad at me, but the conservative sibling, I was a little worried about taking her to a comedy show, so I told her, I was like, don't sit in the front row, they will pick on you. And she has a permanent scowl, okay? So I was like, you are going to be very demoralizing for the comedians because you look so mad all the time. So for the sake of herself and the comedians, I was like, sit in the middle. So she sat in the middle, and then there was this one girl who went on, and she has I didn't know that she was like famous when I met her. And I was like, you did really good. And she's like, yeah, I know. Anyways, so she makes this joke about like hell and whatever, and she's like, she turns to my sister and she was like, you look like a good Muslim girl, can you tell me what hell is in Arabic? And then conservative sibling is so like righteous and like religious, and she goes, Jahannam. And I was like, I could hear her outside the room, even though, because as a comedian, you're not supposed to take up the seats and let the guests have them. So I was just standing just outside, and I could hear my sister, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so proud of her for participating. Anyways, she came out of the comedy show smiling, and I haven't seen her smile like that in a while. So I found a new bonding experience with my siblings, which is so nice. So that was really fun, and that was a spontaneous evening last night. So I'm really excited, and I was apprehensive about staying out late because today, again, like I said, short story long, I had to wake up early. I took the dogs to the vet. So I took them to the vet last time, and I did a vlog on that. It was just for their annual vaccinations and a full checkup to see how they're doing. Is there anything that needs to be done for them to prolong their life? You know, like my eldest son, he is 14 now. So, you know, I'm a good dog mom, okay? Take care of them, give them whatever they need, also kind of give them whatever they want, but I'm also a disciplinarian. It's a nice blend. So the vet said, so Peanut, the Chihuahua, I think in 2018 or 2019, it was definitely just before COVID hit. He had something wrong with his bum, and he had this like big lump on the side of his, you know, tail. Wait, these roundabouts give me anxiety. Oh my god. Okay, this is why I don't like 311 roundabouts. Gross. Literally, ew. Okay, let's focus and get out of this roundabout before this conversation continues. Okay, here we go. I really love driving on highways. Don't give me this roundabout business, and don't give me flyovers either, because I just get the amount of exits I have to take anyway. But I love driving on a straight road. Yes, so Peanut, he is my Chihuahua. He's 14 now, which honestly I forgot how old he was, but I found out at the vet today he's 14. He had something wrong with his bum just before COVID, and there was this like little bump on the side of his tail. So I took him to the vet. They said that there was something wrong with his bum canal. So they had to do a surgery on him, and I took him to this other vet in Jouhayna that was like open 24 hours because I'm a shift worker and I had a panic when I saw it. So they charged me 7,000 dirham plus VAT for this dog's bum. And I made a joke and I was like, what is he gonna do, poop gold now? He hasn't pooped gold, which I'm really upset about. Fast forward to now, this vet visit. Every year when he was being checked, everyone said he was fine, and then they noticed like TMI, but his sac was blocked. So the doctor's like, I think I have to go in there and see what's going on. And I was like, cool. Then he checked the next dog, Jojo. So Jojo's a French bulldog. And I know they've always had an issue with their breathing. So he said that his nostrils are really thin. Yani the what's the word? I only speak English and I don't have words. His nose hole, nostril, is just the slit is too small. Yes. So they want to enlarge it. I asked my mom about the surgery. She's like, well, I don't know if he really needs it. He's been fine all these years, blah, blah, blah. Then the vet also said, well, he's been fine all these years, but because he struggles to breathe, you're going to tax his heart and his oxygen supply, whatever. Then, subhanallah, right? I was doom scrolling on Instagram. But instead of a doom scroll, I took a break and I was looking at everybody's stories. And there was one of the guys, again from comedy show. He wasn't in my class, but He did a comedy set that I watched in my graduation showcase, and he was in the classes that was more advanced than mine. He was so funny. Oh my gosh, this man made me laugh so hard. I saw in his story that he posted this bulldog, and I was like, oh my god, he looks exactly like Jojo. Wow. So I texted him and I was like, the nostrils look really enlarged. Did you do the surgery? He went on a tangent about like how he doesn't really own the dog, and it's his brother's dog who he shares with a friend or a neighbor or something like that. But short story long, but now long story short, yes, they did the surgery and it did benefit. So I was like, you know what, this is a sign. So I asked the vet for the quotation for my dog's nose job, as if my dog's already didn't live a bougie life. This one's gonna get his nose job as well. So, and also get a dental scaling because it's time. But imagine, right? Oh wow, what's happening on the other side of the road? It's like fully, look, you can see the traffic actually. Charlie, he's the golden retriever that's ginger, because his mom was a naughty girl, and he had a baby tooth still in his mouth. And the vets looked at it, they're like, well, we're gonna have to take it out at some point. And as Charlie is getting older, we need to take away anything that could cause complications as they're getting older now. Charlie, I think, is 6 years old, and then Peanut is 14. My initial plan was to do one dog per month, so I have the time to let them heal and be present with them and whatever. Then I was thinking how the others are still going to be really hyperactive, because even the eldest one, mashallah, he has a very young soul, like my mother. So I was like, well, I don't want them to, the one who has been done the surgeries on, to be overpowered by the other and like all of that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the plunge and do all. So I texted the doctor. I'm like, is this okay? And he's like, yeah, it's up to you how much you can handle. And I do have help from my mom who would help me out with this, and also my cleaning lady, Susat. And she's not a cleaning lady. Actually, I take that back. She is the reason why my post-divorce life has been even smoother than anticipated. So, no, Susat is my Susat. You all learn her name. She's great. Everybody needs a Susat in their life. So I found her, the girl who was living with me during COVID, she found her through Facebook, and she's been like cleaning up the home that we had. And then she stayed with me. She's been a constant in my life with all the people that have come in and out of my life. So even when I told her I was getting divorced and I found out my ex was cheating on me, she legit cried for me. I was like, so we're both crying in the house together when she came over, because she saw me and she's like, Mom, are you okay? And I was like, I found out he was cheating on me. So we both cried, and I told her, like, why are you crying? And she's like, I thought you were happy. I'm like, I thought so too, but he was looking for more happiness elsewhere. It's literally so rude. Yes, so I texted the vet. They said that yes, you can get all of them done. So I did. I've informed Susat, I've informed my mother. It's a full village taking care of the boys. And yeah, so I dropped them off at the vet this morning, and I did it myself. So I put Peanut in a backpack, and then his head pops out, and then I put the other in the boot. And I'm really proud of myself for doing this alone, because I remember my ex was like, how are you gonna handle the dogs without me? With ease, my man, with ease. Look at me now. I've got a plan, I've got a system. Then after this, I realized, because now I'm a spontaneous girl, this is the only thing that was planned. I was like, okay, well, since the boys are going to be out all day, and today's the day that the house gets cleaned anyways, let pest control come and clean it out, because I saw a tick on Jojo, and I was like, this is unacceptable behavior. Pest control, they came to the house. They're pest controlling the house now, and the dog house, and all the plants, because when I sit after my ice bath, these flies come and hang out with me, and I'm like, no, unacceptable. How long that'll last, who knows. But also, there was a report in the community that they see snakes, so I've always been making sure that the pest control come in and do the snake repellent as well, because I'm not having that. Okay, so they've come in to do that. They're getting the AC cleaned as well afterwards. And there's this maintenance lady that I found. Oh my god, first of all, I was praying to find a woman to help me sort my house out. Okay, really, she was an answer to my prayers. So I was working with this company that they outsourced another company to come and do the work. So she took my number, and thank God for that, for this woman being so resourceful. I honestly should find out her name, because on my phone she saved as maintenance woman, but she organizes everything. So she's the brains behind it all. So she'd message me and she's like, I'll give you an extra special offer, whatever. I met her. She sat in the garden and played with the dogs. Okay, I was like, wow, you have won. Okay, you have won. She's coming as well to supervise. but she's bringing her team. They're going to clean all the ACs. I have to do it at least every 4 to 6 weeks because of my severe dust allergy. And even though I'm doing all my allergy shots, I still need to get it done. And then after the ACs are cleaned, the pest control is done, Susaf is going to come and clean the house because the pest control has to, the liquid has to stay there to kill everything. So after that's done, I'm gonna go over to my friend's house. Molly and I, we have this like newfound ritual, which I really like, is where we watch the Love is Blind weddings together because she's a shift worker and so am I. So we watch everything on our own and then we watch the weddings together, and it's just so nice to have a friend to watch trash with. Okay, it's so nice. So I'm really excited for that. So I'll go hang out with her. She just got back from a flight. I told her, I'm like, girl, sleep, relax. We can have like a little meal together. And I'm really excited. So yeah. And at the moment, I'm on my way to go to the furniture factory with the interior decorator that I'm working with to get the guest room redone in my house. And this room, in my opinion, it's haunted from my ex, even though he's still alive. And I double checked because I panicked that he wouldn't be. But anyways, and his presence just feels very strong in that room because he always used to spend time there because I made it a gaming room / guest room for him. And it's not a guest room for him to sleep in, but it was, well, until I found that he was cheating on me. But it was a room where I made him like a little corner for his gaming PC and blah blah blah, and even like some cool like LED lights, so it's like aesthetic, whatever. So he always used to spend a lot of time in that room, which really pissed me off because why aren't you hanging out with me? I'm a shift work kid. You can't hang out with me all the time. But he always chose his video games over me. And this, to anybody who's watching, don't commit to a gamer unless you don't want to really hang out with that person, okay? They don't have time for you. Like, he had more time for me after I got rid of it and we were getting the divorce than while we were still married. He didn't appreciate me while we were married. So yes, don't date a gamer unless you really don't like them that much and you don't want to hang out with them often. If you want something casual where they don't have the time for you, then be with a gamer. So that room, I haven't really spent a lot of time in there, so I'm really excited to get a sauna in there. So I sold all the gifts that I got him, including the PC. So the PC paid for the sauna, which I'm so excited about. So a sauna is getting put into that room, and then Karam is the decorator that I'm working with. I want to make it a spiritual, relaxing space. So I'm making a prayer corner by the window so the light comes in. There's going to be a tiny little sauna there where when you walk into the room, you don't see it's a sauna and you just see like a little working station. And then there's going to be a swing as well in the room, which, I didn't even tell this man I like swings, and he just felt it from my energy and he put a swing in the drawings. And I was like, wow, I love that for me. One of the things I asked for was like a really modern day milas or a majlis. But see, I can say milas like an Arab. So it's going to be like a little L-shaped one, and it's going to be like a makeshift meditation space where I can also lay down and meditate, because I meditate every day, or I try to at least. And I'm going to go see like that couch that he's making, and then also like a custom made like low level coffee table for my mini majlis in my prayer room, recovery room, relaxation room. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm planning on having next to the prayer area like a massive vision board, which I'm going to be making with a friend in a couple days. That's going to be the room that I'm going to transform. Right now I'm going to go home and take a video of the state of that room. So I'm excited. I'm going to go see this. Honestly, if I didn't have this vlog, I wouldn't go see the furniture, okay? Because I don't care. In a sense of, I trust the artist that I've hired to do his job, and I believe in letting creative people work. But because I'm vlogging now, I've decided that I'm gonna go and like, this is gonna be part of the process and the B-rolls and la. So here we are. So yeah, so that's my plan for today. And then I'm gonna hang out with Molly. We're gonna watch the weddings. And then when the vet tells me it's time to go pick them up, I'm gonna go do that. And then when I go home, inshallah, my house is gonna be clean. It's cleaned, bugs gone, yeah. And then I can just hang out with the boys tonight and just make sure that they're okay. Oh, I think I can actually tell you guys this because it's not gonna come out for a while. We are trying to get the unit that I live in a condo, and downstairs there's a garden, and that's why I got it. So it was way cheaper because somebody lives upstairs, because it's another apartment. And then I realized how I have zero privacy when I've been spending more time in the garden now. And I was like, oh, it would be really nice if just like somebody I knew lived upstairs. So I spoke to mom and I was like, Mom, we've been spending so much more time together. You've hung out with Eliazi and now I'm a sad divorcee. I'm not sad, but like that's the story I told the conservative sibling. I was like, I need mom now. So yeah, so mom, we're trying to get her to move in upstairs. And at the moment we're in the middle of all the paperwork and I'm so excited. We have Karam coming tomorrow to actually see the apartment and then come up with the designs of what he's going to do. So it's a copy paste of my apartment, just upstairs. And I know it's going to be completely the opposite of my apartment because my mom loves bright colors and like in her space. So I'm excited. I feel like it's a nice way to take care, like, okay, Yani, she looks very young, mashallah, but she's an optical illusion, okay? At the end of the day, she's turning 65 this year. She's an aging parent. And I just want to spend the time with her now, especially when she's still able, and then just continue to take care of her because it's part of like my culture, my heritage and religion. So yes, I'm excited. And I've also realized I'm the only daughter that's gonna take care of her. Because my other two sisters, I don't see that really happening. Like they've had a decade, and I know now that they've been earning and stuff like that, they've had the time to prove themselves as, yes ma, I'll take care of you, but they really haven't. So I told my mom, I was like, I think you should stop holding out hope that they're going to contribute and just like, yeah, and come to the realization that I am the child that will do that for you, and I'm fully ready to do that now because I have the mental and emotional capacity to do that. And now that I don't have like a man taking up all my time and energy, I can really refocus that on the woman who birthed me, to take time to, you know, create this vlog and focus on myself and everything, because I really didn't realize how much of myself I was giving to this man until he left, you know. And I was always very reluctant to do things for myself, and now I ask myself, I'm like, if my ex asked me for that, would I have said yes? 1,000 times I would have, because I love to take care of him and I love to support him. So why don't I do that for me? So now I'm really owning that and taking care of myself the way that I love and to take care of other people. It's weird, but we're vibing, we like it, we're owning it, we're doing it. I was so busy and checking in and everything with my husband, and I was so used to always having somebody to text, and now that I don't have that, I could do that with like my friends, but I really don't want to attach myself and use them as an emotional crutch. I don't feel it's fair to them as well, yani, like, you know. So I have told all my friends, I'm like, I need space to just take the time to heal and force myself to have an emotional purge, to let myself feel whatever feelings I need to, and not text them because I'm used to texting somebody. So I've been using my phone a lot less in comparison to before. I've been calling my mom every day because I've made a commitment to being there for her and taking care of her. But for my friends, I've just said to them, I'm like, I need a minute because I need to sort myself out, and I really, really, really don't want that emotional crutch. Because one of the things I did think and anticipate about myself when I thought, oh my gosh, like this guy is being a headache, and then he gave me enough reason to leave him, I was like, oh boy, bye. It was painful, but I was like, yani, a little relieved that I found out something so awful so I could finally leave this guy, because at one point he was really starting to piss me off because I made a promise in the eyes of God that this is my person in this life and the afterlife. I was very patient with this man, and when I really wanted to see it through, you know. So I know I did everything in my power to like be with him and stay with him, but this, I will not forgive cheating, okay? Not allowed. So it was in my nasib to deal with that. So I thought that I was going to need somebody to like live with me, and yani, I'm gonna feel so alone and the house is gonna be so empty. But you know what I realized? I specifically chose a smaller space because I don't like big spaces. I don't like big houses. I just feel like somebody's gonna like come in and kill me. I want to know and feel everything around me. I want to hear all the sounds in my house. So I like a smaller space, okay? My cute little apartment is like 1,000 square foot, including the garden. I love it, alhamdulillah. I feel blessed. And I remember very, very deep down, there was a very silent part of me that wanted a small space, because I'm like, if it doesn't work out with him, it won't feel overwhelmingly big. And see, I was right. So stay toxic. Listen to your inner voice. That is something that I had. And even when I was working with the interior decorator, he wasn't very involved. The only thing he like insisted on was for us to get like a scent diffuser, like in the hotel. So I got that, best investment ever. People walk in and they're like, oh my gosh, your house smells so nice. And before they enter, you can smell it already. So is it an endocrine disruptor? Yes, who cares for now? One problem at a time. But yeah, I just remember telling the decorator, I'm like, I don't want any sign of him except for in that guest room. And that's exactly what she did. So I think that's part of the reason why I am so not comfortable in that space until I make it mine with the decorator. And I know that I can do it myself. Okay, I know that. But why should I? Okay, when I've sold all his things and made a tiny fortune, let me share that fortune with a wonderful business that I found and support. So yes, and I'm not using the same decorator who did the rest of my house because she's working on much bigger projects as well. So I was like, you know what? Yani, it's fine. I'm gonna find somebody else to do it. She had way too much on her plate, and she's a mother with a daughter and she has her own business. I was like, it's okay, don't worry. Plus I live so far away from everything. So I found somebody else and I'm excited to see where this goes. Maybe I should also look and see where I can find a charger close to my friend's house. So this is the thing with the Tesla. It's the only like a slight downside of having a Tesla and living far away from everything. But I don't usually do such drives, you know. It's the first and only breakup I've ever had. I feel like I've bounced back quite nicely. And I think it's because I followed Mel Robbins' breakup blueprint. He left the country. 7 years, chapter closed, blah, blah, blah. You're not gonna take away the beautiful Maldives from me, sir. So that's what I did. I went to the Maldives with my mother and my auntie. It was the best time ever. Why is this truck going so fast? Stop speeding, sir! Your truck! He loved my black credit card and the dogs more than me. I lost my best friend. People really hide and suffer in silence. And I did that. Honestly, at this point, if you're not divorced, what are you doing?